So we've got
Speak up, man.
We've got an A1, where you can see this darker layer, sandier layer, which you can feel in the bolus, and it's darker in colour because of the organic matter, because of the natural vegetation. Then we go into an A2, which doesn't quite have as much organic matter, and hence the colour's a lot lighter, and so therefore you get an A2. And then the textures of those, well, the A1 was a loamy sand and the A2 was a clay sand. Then we have a big texture contrast down into the B21, which is we got as a medium clay, and then down into the B22, which we got as a medium clay with a minus qualifier, so the clay wasn't quite as high. So as you can see, the pH, we had a pH of about 5.5 in A1 and A2, and then it gets down to just under 5 in the lower layers. And then you can see the boundaries. We've got the tongues, so there's a tongue there and one there. And pedality, you can.
Awesome. Why the tongue form?
That's a good question, George. That's a good question.
Thanks, Dorothy.
I hope you are not from the same group.
No, I said it's a question.
We'll pass it on to Kylie.
I'll answer this one brief question. Basically, you get the tongues because you get cracking and because you get the shrinking and expanding of the profile. That's why we're getting the tongue down into the B horizon here. That's actually a characteristic of sotosols, though this is not a sotosol. So yeah, back to you. So you get that dropping. Sorry, so you get that dropping of the sandy layer into the clay profile.
It's all pretty wet. Infiltration, I think they've gone since 4 yesterday afternoon, and I think they've dropped. How much have they dropped? Layer 3 and 4. None. So
we've had 5 millimetres.
5 millimetres. So it's a very heavy
layer
clay.
4, that was.
And that's reflected in the subangular blocky head shapes and the smooth face when you break them. Well, here, you can see the head shapes, smooth face, quite sharp edges. And then there's quite a lot of mottling through the bottom here, and that's from the sandstone, which is the parent material, which is all very, you can break it off with your fingernail sort of thing, like it's quite brittle. And that's the colour, and although probably the reason we ended up, we had a bit of we weren't sure whether it was going to be a brown or a yellowy, but when you get into it and you start doing the munsel of it, the dominant colour is the browner colour, and it's just the grey mottling that sort of takes over, so when you look at it, that's what made us question our classification. And it's probably, the main reason it's kept its A2 is because of the land use. If this had been sort of farmed or something, probably this A2 would be a lot shallower. Probably it's quite a large depth wise. It comes down, it's probably going nearly down to 30 in some spots. So because of the land use, that's why it's kept the deep topsoil.
I've got another question, although.
Yeah, Kylie's going to take over.
There's a few other key features. This is quite a good profile.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you can ask.
I just wanted to know where the red came from.
Red.
The mottling of the sandstone, George.
There's a few nice key features of this profile, which I'm quite excited about.
Sorry, Kylie, talk up, please. Sorry.
Talk up?
Traffic.
Shout, sorry. Basically, this is a nice floral core just here. As you can see, and then a stick. Where's my little pointer?
Yeah, here's your pointer.
Oh, thanks. Beautiful pointer. I'll do it from both sides. So there's your floral core there. And I'll go from the other side so you can see. Just there. Another nice thing. So what is a floral core?
Also,
What is a floral core? Basically just where the roots gone through. And you can actually see what's good about this one. You can see that basically what's happened is the roots died, and where the roots been gone, it's actually filled with sand, a sandy layer anyway.
and you can also see the plants. The plants don't really like this heavy clay quite as much, and here's a great example of a root that's been going down, and then it's just hit the start of the B21 layer and sort of just gone along in the bottom of the A2, because it doesn't like that big heavy clay, and when we get back and do the bulk densities and things, we'll be able to work out the physical properties.
Another interesting thing about this profile too, down here, we've actually got what's called saprolitic rock. And basically what saprolitic rock is, it's the same volume as the original rock, like the original sandstone, but just far less dense. So you can actually feel it. It's like, it's still sort of sandstoning feeling, but obviously it doesn't have the same density.
But don't just take our word for it, you know, play with our boluses. Charlie, get into the boluses. Feel the texture change from the top to the bottom. Riveting.
Good on you.
Very good. Yes. Questions?
Oh yeah, what is it? What is it?
Let's see. Oh, we said
The brown.
Brown Kurosol.
We've known that for
So-
years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, another thing too.
So you got a duplex soil and after all doing all this Dermosol all week.
There's another thing
In
too.
the bottom layer, if they stop throwing stuff, Charlie, I'll be able to do it. It's 4.63. We said that pH in the top two layers. It was about went 5.75, 5.46, 4.98, and then 4.63.